Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. It's Task Force Off-Road here. I'm George, this is John, and we have another video coming at you with John's Jeep. So last time you checked in, I showed you the CB radio. We did all that stuff. So now we have another fun one for you, and it's actually the mod I get the most compliments on. It's the Done Right or Brawlee LED light bar, and it's gonna go right here on the inside of the tailgate, and it's basically gonna illuminate the entire back portion of the Jeep at night. If you're loading cargo, if you're getting stuff ready to go, let's say snowboarding, or if you camp a lot, you're an overlander, this is a great light to have, especially if you have one of these deck trays that go in the rear tailgate. It's a really good mod, guys. So we're gonna kick this video in a second, but if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel or like the video if you enjoy it. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first step we already have done because we did the CB radio, and that's just gonna be to remove the subwoofer. So I'm gonna link that video up in the top right-hand corner, and if you need to figure out how to take the subwoofer off, just watch my other video on how to do that. After that, we're gonna start removing these bolts, and we're gonna start removing these trim tools. We're also gonna need to remove the seatbelt anchor over here, so that's gonna be another thing. And then we're gonna move up all of these trim pieces until we can get access to this dome light up here, and that's where we're going to tap the lighting in. That way we can run it properly. So we're going to start removing these trim pieces and get back to you after that. All right, so I just want to point out, this bolt is one of the biggest fights when doing this install right here. We needed to use a very large cheater bar to get this off. It was a pain in the butt, but it's doable nonetheless. So we're going to continue this. All right, so after you have all the bolts removed, we can remove this trim piece here. You're going to need a trim removal tool because there's metal clips and they're pretty stuck. There's that guy. So now we can go and start removing this. So the way these trim pieces are is they're underneath each other. So they're in a weird order. Hold on, I missed a couple screws. Alright, so once we have our interior disassembled, we're going to take an alcohol pad and we're just going to clean up this lip right here because this is where the light is going to sit, and we just don't want any contaminants there, so we're just going to make a nice clean surface with the alcohol pad. And then give it a couple seconds to dry. While waiting for it to dry, we can take all the tape, all the back siding of the tape off of our double-sided 3M tape. We put our own on because we want to run it the opposite way than the instructions say, so we still left that there, which is fine, but yes, we're gonna run it this way. Realistically, we can remove both of these and get better adhesion too, because this will just touch on the back there. It's gonna be easier if you close the tailgate or the glass, and with the glass closed, we can then just go and lay the light where we want it. Relatively centered should work perfect. And then just apply pressure. Make sure you get a nice, good seal. Alright guys, so once we have the light set, we can start putting these little wire mount clips in. So all this is going to do is hold the wire out of the way, that way it doesn't get pinched anywhere. So you can pretty much decide where you want to put these yourself, but I'm just going to wire them around the black portion here, up, and we're going to come down the well here as well. So the only thing you're going to be able to see is the wire right here. So it's going to be a nice clean little look here. And they're all just 3M tape, so I have all these prepped and we're just going to go and place them in. Alright, so now I can start feeding the wire into these and then clipping them down. So they give you two colors. They give you white ones and they give you black ones. Theoretically, the white ones would be if you had a white hardtop. John has the liner, so the white wouldn't really work. So we're using the white here, and then we're going to use the black ones running down the outside of the hardtop, so they're less noticeable. Realistically, this is something you're never going to see. Okay, now for the last bit of this wire, we can go under this rubber grommet here and feed it into the cab. Alright guys, so right now we're going to remove some of this wire sheathing. That way we can get more room to play with these wires here so we can tap it into the dome light. Be very careful you don't cut one of the wires. Alright guys, next we're going to be using these piggybacks. So the way these, I don't know if they're actually called piggybacks, I'm going to call it. So this little metal piece, you crimp it down with a pair of pliers and you stick your wire in one end and the wire you're tapping into on the other end. And when you drop the wire, it's basically gonna splice them together. Just make sure you have everything oriented the way you're gonna want it. That way you can run it properly after the fact. Okay, and with that guy flush, just give it a little tug, make sure you have a good connection, and then close it off. Now we're going to do the same thing for our negative lead. And just so you guys are aware, the wiring on this is your red is going to go to yellow-green, it looks like. Or it might be yellow-purple. I don't know, I'm colorblind. It's yellow something, we're going to go with that. And then it's going to be black to black, so that's nice and simple on that one. The second one's going to be more difficult than the first one. So just accept that fact and do what you can. Make sure you got a good crimp. Okay, we're good. All right. All right, so now we should be able to test this. So we're gonna plug it in. Yep. So right now we're tapping into the dome lights for direct power. What this guy is gonna do is going to give us the ability to turn it on and off with this remote. So it's working, everything's wired up properly. We just plugged that guy in, plugged it in there. We're good. So now we're having an issue with the controller. So I'm going to try this again with the controller. Oh, I'm an idiot. Take the plastic out now. There we go. So then this also has modes. We'll get into that at the end of the video. But that's, so we know we're good, so we can unplug everything, run the wire, plug it back in properly, and make this all nice and neat. It's going to look great. So let's get to that.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
Alright guys, so that finishes today's install. So it was a really easy one, really quick one. I've done it before, so that's why it went smoothly. Alright, so with this remote we can control it, turn it on, turn it off, and it also has modes, so it has these strobe modes. It's a really cool light, it's really functional. Obviously don't use the strobe if you don't need it. That's without being said. Without that, you can go back to light by hitting light, and then you can just change the brightness of it. It's a really cool light, guys, and definitely a well worth install, and it's cheap. I think it's right around 70 or 80 bucks. It's a really good and really good one. I'm a huge fan of this light. Alright guys, if you made it to this point in the video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it. The likes really help this video get seen by more people, so I appreciate it. And comment if you got something to say, or if you have an easier way to do something. Everyone likes that information. I appreciate you guys sticking around. I hope to see you in the next video, and have a good one.
But it's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night. We'd stay up, it felt so right.